Our next presentation in today's lead marketing conference from CPG Matters deals with leveraging consumer offers. We have two speakers from the Avid Marketing Group, Regina Haley and Julie Fiorini. Julie, take it away.
Thank you so much. So just a little bit to get us started on who we are as Avid Marketing Group. We're a shopper marketing agency located out of Connecticut and specialize in the go-to-market strategy, execution, and data capture of all types of shopper programs, from consumer promotions to different types of offers. We've executed just last year over 3,000 campaigns that consist of a number of different types of consumer offers across CPG brands. And we're strategic partners to the vendors that help coordinate and different types of programs and offers as well, so that we can aggregate that data and provide it back, especially utilizing our own tech-enabled solutions and SaaS products. So a little bit about what we're here for today. We're here to talk about the modern coupon usage and how offers can be utilized to meet your KPIs. We're going to talk about why brands use coupons, some industry trends, different types of offers and formats, and then strategic thinking and best practices in utilizing those types of offers so that you can understand how, when, and where to use coupons to better achieve your business objectives. So let's dive in. So coupons have certainly evolved from the newspaper cutouts of the past, and most are digital now and targeted to the correct audience. Why do shoppers use coupons? It's not just so much about being that budget value-driven customer of the past, rather being more smart and savvy to really help guide the decision process around putting different items on the shopping list. 90% of shoppers make shopping lists. 61% believe that making a list is more important because of some of the economic and, of course, the pandemic over the last couple of years, and that's impacting a lot of our purchasing decisions. And 75% use coupons to determine what goes on that list. From the manufacturer or the brand perspective, coupons can help drive purchase behavior in a number of different ways. They're a proven strategy to gain exposure and brand awareness. They can help steer the shopper at that point of sale to drive a certain purchase or incentivize them to purchase that product over a competitive set. They allow shoppers to move up to a more premium product within a certain set. They introduce the shopper to maybe new product types, flavors, or varietals that the brand might be offering. They help maintain a competitive price point, and also can be utilized to incentivize incremental purchase. So perhaps utilizing tiered offers where there's an escalating offer incentive, or maybe something that incentivizes the shopper to purchase a number of different products within one overarching brand portfolio. So the key question, are coupons going out of style? The answer is no. And I think even just with Lady Gaga getting some popularity for using coupons herself, you see Warren Buffett taking out Bill Gates to lunch at McDonald's with coupons in hand. They are certainly not something that is just limited to an older demographic. Rather, they are utilized across all genders, ages, and socioeconomic groups. With the current landscape with inflation and some of the economic pressures, it has certainly educated Gen Z shoppers effectively on the benefits of using coupons and helped guide them as well in why coupons and the usage of offers are so necessary. 43% of Gen Z shoppers cite that coupons and discounts are important factors in making a purchase. 60% used a traditional coupon, and traditional meaning something more like a printed offer that you might see in store in the past 3 months. 74% have used a digital coupon in the last 3 months, and 78% of Gen Z shoppers are open to trying a new brand with the use of a coupon. So, looking at some of the goals of coupon usage, it isn't always about that end shopper. Oftentimes, coupons can be used more on the sell in to buyers and really just leveraged with those retailers as they are looking to earn additional floor or display space at that point of sale. It provides retailers with an incentive to give the brand that feature and display support, as well as just additional shelf space. Coupons can also help drive traffic to that specific retailer store versus a competitive account. And different types of offers like cross merchandise or multi purchase offers can really be leveraged to build the basket and total check ring um, for retailers. And often we see that when coupons are utilized with those different types of scenarios with cross merchandise or multi purchase involved, it can increase the total check ring on average upwards of 25%. So overall, the coupons are not just for that end shopper. They can meet the retailer objectives and goals as well, which of course put the manufacturer in a great light. Sometimes the goal is not just that total redemption, and you might find that you see low redemption on a particular coupon, but you might have gained that incremental feature ad, and that in itself is a win, even though you might not have the associated redemption, thus saving on the overall cost and impact on the bottom line. So, with of course the economic impact over the last couple of years, we looked back and especially during the most recent recession around 2008, very clear that there's an impact on coupon usage overall. When the numbers indicate an economic downturn, consumers turn to behaviors such as using coupons. 82% of shoppers are more likely to use coupons during an economic turn down. 89% of shoppers are actively looking for deals and discounts during these particular tough times. No surprise. And when we do look at these particular dips in the economy, that's when we see redemption rates increase over coupon usage as well. There was a 27% increase during the first half of 2020 in clearly something that was tied to the pandemic and usage of coupons during that time. So, looking at a little deep dive into the different types of offers and the formats of coupons, there's a number of different types of coupons that can be utilized. The most traditional and long-standing are the printed offers. These are still something that are impactful at point of sale and really can help act as an in-store way to drive conversion. The in-store printed coupons you might be used to seeing are neck hangers, tear pads. They could be a sticker that are featured right on the product itself. Those, again, can help really act as that differentiator between that product and the competitive set and really provide that instant gratification to the shopper where they see the coupon, feel they can save instantly, and it can make a quick impact on their purchase decision. FSIs are the Sunday paper inserts that we all know and love. They do have broad reach with the ability to geographically target, and they can be used as a pre-shop consideration tool. So really just helping shoppers determine what they're putting on the shopping list. In ads are coupons that you see within weekly flyers. This also is a tactic that's great for pre-shop consideration. They are retailer specific and can be utilized again with more of that impact to the buying process as a manufacturer is going to a retailer to help with that sell-in. Retailer specific or load to card offers are more digital based. You may be familiar with a number of the different retailers that have their own platforms or apps at this time where they have a number of different offers available for you to save as you're perusing through the site and creating your shopping list or about to make your purchases. Target has Target Circle. There's Safeway Albertson has their J for You app, Meyer M Perks, a number of these that are out there. And they really do help support as well that pre-planning shopping trip to understand what is going to be beneficial to add to the shopping list when there's a coupon or offer available. There's often targeting that can be used in these different apps when load to cart offers are set up, as well as media ads or different buys that can be layered in for further targeting. And again, looking back at the goals of the campaign, oftentimes these types of programs are beneficial for the manufacturer to utilize to sell into that particular retailer or help fulfill a retailer's spend requirement. These types of offers can be communicated through the retailer's media channels, even in store as well. And there is data available for post-promotion analysis that can be used to understand perhaps if somebody clipped and had the intention to make the purchase within the app, or if they did actually fulfill that purchase and there was a clear redemption there. And then there's our digital offers and apps. And this is really where we see a shift in how offers are being positioned. There's different apps out there like Ibotta, Checkout 51, ShopKit. There's a number of shopper apps that have their own user base and feature a number of different apps across different categories. But also, in addition to these different apps, there's more retail or there's more manufacturer focused offers available through platforms that feature receipt validation, such as ShopSnap Earn or other types of platforms where you can actually customize the branding, the design, and the offer to what that brand is looking to push, so that it's not featured within an app with a user base, but is rather web-based. And a shopper may see something like that through a QR code that they're scanning in store or through other media. With these types of offers or apps, there's a flexibility to reach shoppers in the pre-shop mindset as well as in store. And that is kind of going back to either the QR code that might be utilized on point of sale, driving the shopper to the app or to the site to then redeem, or something that could be pushed out through media, social, other digital means as well as a pre-shop tactic. There's different targeting availability with these types of offers and apps as well. And there's a lot that can be layered in terms of external ads and media to drive shoppers to these programs. With these types of offers, it again goes back to the goals. Perhaps they're being utilized as more of a sell-in tactic to that retailer, where maybe the point of sale in store is the main mode of communication, or it could be something that is being used to really help generate awareness of a particular brand or offer, in which case there would be supplemental media pushing to the offer to really increase redemption there. There is a lot of available data on these types of programs where you can really hone in on, total basket ring, what else was in the basket with those basket adjacencies, top retailers or accounts where purchases were made. So a lot of available data when these types of programs are executed. And then just breaking down the different offer types. So IRCs are instant redeemable coupons. These tend to be the printed offers that you're going to actually see in store at that point of purchase. They often have a barcode and will get scanned right at that checkout point, so that the shopper can have that instant discount. The retailers will submit these coupons often to a clearinghouse to be reimbursed. The alternative is the mail-in rebate, which is in a sense where that shopper is waiting to get that redemption back after they've made the point of purchase. Now, the traditional mail-in rebate is that paper form where you'd actually be mailing it out to get the cash back. However, it has shifted to more of a digital means where the digital offers and apps tend to be categorized as a digital MIR, where the user can get their cash back maybe through a cash app or a different form of payment within a shorter time frame and without having to actually mail in. But because the discount is still not at that immediate point of checkout, they're considered a mail-in rebate, even though you might not actually have to mail it in. So, quick little pop quiz. Define these offer formats. So, looking at number one, little bit of a trick on this one. You can see there's the QR code, there's language mentioning get the coupon, but it clearly indicates Target on here. So this is actually a paper point of sale piece that is driving the shopper to scan the QR code to then open up the Target Circle app. So it's actually a retailer specific load to card offer where the offer itself would live within the app, and that is where the user would be able to redeem and get and earn their reward in a sense. Number two, this is an example of a digital offer. It's customized to this particular brand. The shopper is able to scan the QR code. It prompts them to open a page of a microsite where they would be able to easily upload a photo of their receipt. They would be reimbursed through, it looks like PayPal or Venmo in this instance, and they'd get their cash back within a couple of days based on meeting that purchase requirement. So I'm going to pass it over to Regina now to talk a little bit around the strategy and how you can apply more thought around these types of offers and things to think about as you're planning your consumer promotion programming.
Thanks, Julie. I did just want to pause for a moment to see if there's any questions in terms of, we're using the word coupons. Clearly, that is a very traditional definition, but we're using it in the broader promotional sense. But are there any questions about what Julie has presented so far?
Let's see. One question that has come in. How does redemption differ across different coupon types?
That's an excellent question. And that's, we can certainly, first let me answer. IRCs, in-store IRCs, meaning a sticker on the product or a shelf pad or a neck hanger, have the strongest circulation. Why? Because there are the fewer barriers for the shopper. They're at the shelf, they're picking something out, they take the coupon, they take it to the register. So that's clearly the highest redemption rate. MIRs are less of a redemption rate because the shopper has to work a little bit in order to get their refund for their specific MIR. And I think kind of in the middle, it depends which retailer you're running retailer load to cards at. But retailer load to cards can also come in IRC or MIR formats. And, in terms of ranking redemption rates, I would say load to card IRCs come in second. Now, with that said, I wouldn't judge any of those tactics based on the redemption rate because we're going to utilize those strategically. I think one of the, slides that Julie presented was around sometimes coupons are not utilized for redemptions. Sometimes coupons are utilized to gain incremental feature and display, working with your retail buyer in order to make that happen. And if you gain an incremental feature and or display, that is your win right there. So maybe in that situation, you don't need to utilize an IRC with the larger redemption rates. You can get that incremental support with just an MIR, thereby reducing the cost of your program. Excellent question. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that strategic thinking. And I think what's interesting is Joel in the previous presentation used a lot of the same terminology that we use in terms of knowing your key performance indicator, using data to find your opportunities. And you want to use data to figure out what your strategy is going to be for your particular offer. Julie helps set the platform and what are all of your different options. And so in terms of the first step in running an offer is you need to be clear on why you're running that coupon. What is the goal of the program? And I know this sounds very basic. You would be very surprised how many people don't take the time to sit and ask this question and simply are running the same offer year over year. Specify your target. Now, that your targets can be, very wide. Are you looking to incentivize shopper in a particular retailer that needs a little bit of a help? Are they losing share? Is there competitive marketing activity happening in that specific geographic area where you really need to focus on that specific retailer? Your target can be in terms of the shopper. Are you willing to have anyone redeem the coupon? Are you looking to bring new shoppers, build household penetration? Are you getting as specific as soccer moms? Know your target, because that will then define the levers that you pull to run your offer. And then finally, define your goals. What are your KPIs? Do you have any specific KPIs that you need to hit? ROI or ROAS are clear examples of that. Is it simply shopper engagement? Is it getting the retailer to commit to that incremental retailer support? And now that you're clear on what you want to do, let's identify the levers that you can use to hit those goals. This was an interesting section to put together. We've been doing this for a while. We do a lot of it, and this was just a really satisfying kind of brain dump of all of the strategy, that we've kind of amassed through the years. And what we've done for the purpose of this presentation is bucketed those into 5 different levers that you can utilize to run your programs and therefore meet your strategic objectives. The first is, I think the most obvious to some, and that's offer value, but also the offer structure. Offer value is it a $4 coupon? Is it a $1 coupon? The structure is it a BOGO? Do you need to buy 2 different products? It's the wording that's used in the offer, which actually can make quite a big difference. Timing. Do you have must-win seasons? Do you have a seasonal product? All of this, will go into your strategy as to when to run the program. What is your vehicle? And we define the vehicle as the thing that delivers your offer to the shopper. So that could be paper, that could be an app, that could be a QR code, POS signage. We're also going to talk about co-merchandising and partnerships. So if you want to partner with a different brand, or if you would like to get some attention within a certain category, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then finally, what I think is the most important, especially in this digital world, is communication and messaging. If you look at the load to cart apps, your offer can be buried in there and very difficult to find. There are some digital apps that don't even have product listings, and those apps need to communicate out to the shoppers in order then to attract them to the offer. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So let's dig in. Offer value and structure. So offers break down into 2 components. The first is offer value types. And again, that's really centered around what is the dollar incentive that you're giving, and how many bottles, widgets do they need to purchase in order to get the deal. That can be communicated in terms of dollars. It can be communicated in terms of percentages. In terms of offer structure, it's kind of how that is worded to the shopper. So it could be buy one, get one free. It could be buy one, get 50% off. It could be get $10 with the purchase of product A and product B. And what's interesting is that, your get $10 off of 2 could be the same as buy one, get one 50% off, but shoppers might have a stronger reaction to the buy one, get one 50% off. And, we have some interesting insights around the wording that really pops for shoppers and gets them to shelf. When you're putting together your values and your structures, ask yourself again, we go back to the initial question, what are you trying to achieve? If you are looking to do a trial on a new flavor or a new item and really drive that household penetration, you're probably better off with a higher dollar offer off one item. We have had instances where clients have said, oh, I want to, get $10 off of 2. And, the thought behind that is it's a new item. They don't know if they're going to like it or not. Would you buy 2 of something that you're not sure if you like? Probably not. So if it's a new item or trial size, stick to that one item, stick to the minimal purchase needed. If you're looking to do a stock up, there doesn't necessarily have to be a higher or a lower price point. I think what's more important is you want the offer value to include more than one unit. In terms of maintaining loyal shoppers don't need the higher dollar incentives. Higher dollar incentives should be reserved for gaining new shoppers or trial on a new item. So in those types of situations, we recommend a lower dollar amount. And again, if they're loyal shoppers, they're probably willing to buy more than one item. Another question, what are your shoppers' tipping points? And we would like to list some here, but they vary so greatly by category. But what is that offer language or offer value that really gets their attention? How does your brand compare versus the category? We just did an analysis for a client that it turns out all of their major competitors had an offer out there that was in general 50% greater than theirs. That's going to make a difference. Should the value differ based on the targeted audience? And we kind of spoke to this above, but if it's existing shoppers, they can be served a lower offer, while new shoppers should be offered a greater discount. And in general, keep it simple. The more complex the offer, the lower redemption rate. And we're going to hit on a couple of examples of this later. Let's talk about timing. Timing should be reflective of your business objectives, but keep in mind it's not just when, sometimes it's how long the offer runs that plays a role as well. Must-win timeframes. The most obvious example here is chocolate during Valentine's Day, but it could also be pens and pencils during back to school. If you don't win in that key moment, you're going to have a tough time getting ahead for the rest of the year. Does your product have seasonality? Examples, grilling during the summer, tailgating in fall, Cinco de Mayo for spring. And if those are key seasons for you, making sure you have a presence within the category. The length of the offer. Typically, the offer should be 4 weeks long to support a display, 12 weeks to support a season. And then finally, there's gap filler between the seasons. So if you're looking to maintain shopper loyalty between those key seasons, maybe feed them just a little bit, in between your key seasons. Nothing big, just a little something to keep them going. It could be that you have a new item, or, it could be that, if you're a very small brand with a very small budget, avoiding those big, noise time periods will, give you a greater voice within your category. The vehicle. So how do you distribute your offer? We've siloed these into two different types, physical and digital. And I think what's most important is that you need to keep your intended audience in mind. Consider the placement of your coupon and your audience. Easy example, FSIs. If you're trying to bring Gen Z into the fold, probably don't want to go FSI. If it is a product that appeals to older generations, for instance, I thought about, I worked on the category of dishwashing, the plastic gloves that, our moms and grandmothers used to put on while they're washing dishes. That might be okay in an FSI because FSIs are more geared to a more mature audience. At what point in the shopper journey are you looking to affect? Is it essential that you grab that shopper before they even enter the store, or can it be in store? And there are many categories where you really need that post-shop engagement to really keep them engaged within your brand. Distribution method for physical coupons. It's interesting. We have a lot of insight around this. If you're taking, for instance, an on-pack IRC sticker, sometimes those are applied to the product at the factory. Oftentimes, we are reliant on distributors or the sales teams actually putting on those stickers in retail. And it's just really important to ensure that your offers make it into the store. There are companies that do in-store auditing. And I will bring forward a real life example where a third of a circulation on a particular offer was sitting in someone's warehouse. Didn't even make it out to retail. So just something important to keep in mind. Now, turning to digital, retailer-specific load-to-card programs, retailers, a good reason to use this vehicle is that you might be required to. A lot of the larger manufacturers have requirements to offer up a certain amount of dollar on their load-to-card platforms. And, the retailers appreciate, nay, require these offers. Mobile apps, a good consideration for mobile apps is that it's a quick turnaround time and has more targeting capabilities. So if you really need to hone in on that soccer mom in New Jersey, mobile apps will be more likely to do that. And then finally, communication, which we're going to get to later, but with digital vehicles, communication is just really key to let your shoppers know that the offer exists. One thing to keep in mind in certain categories, alcoholic beverages, for instance, there are legal rules about what you can use in each state. So, for instance, for alcoholic beverages, California does not allow IRCs. So, MIRs are the way to go in California. And, we do work in the alcoholic beverage category, and it's absolutely essential that you're just aware of what can and can't be done in each state. And if you're looking for some information on that, we've become experts at it, so we're happy to work with you on that. Co-merchandising. Co-merchandising, I think the critical question is before you run a co-merch program to ask yourself, what are you hoping to achieve? Because here's what it's not going to achieve: redemption. And that's okay, because there could be other reasons for that. As a rule of thumb, the more specific your co-merch is, the lower your redemption will be. For instance, if you have an offer that's, pie $10, worth of product X and $75 worth of groceries, will give you $20 back. That's going to have a slightly lower redemption rate because some shoppers might not be able to reach or want to reach that grocery threshold, but at least it's not kind of limiting you on the other product that you need to buy. When you move into a specific category, let's say milk, your redemption rate will decline further. I mean, you've automatically cut out all of your lactose intolerant shoppers, although, we have alternatives nowadays, but just to use that as an example. If you get even more specific, like soy milk, now you're dropping down even further because let's say someone does drink cow milk, they might not be interested in soy. And so you've now lost that audience as well. And then when you get very, very specific, example, 8-ounce vanilla soy milk, your redemptions will be down 70% versus just running a straight non-co-merged offer for your item. So with this news, why would you run a co-merch? There's lots of great reasons to run a co-merch. It could be that you are assembling a display with possibly a recipe solution or a seasonal solution. And so you have bundled products to allow for that. It could be theme building. We see a lot of co-merch happening around the time of a Super Bowl. Get everything here for your Super Bowl party. It could be that you're looking to drive a larger basket for your retailer. And so the more items you need to purchase, the larger that basket purchase will be. And then finally, it could just be efficiencies of scale, meaning if there's this one program you'd like to participate in that costs $100,000, if you get 3 additional partners, it's only going to cost you $25,000. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the shopper needs to purchase all 4 items. It's that you are all going in together on whatever that particular vehicle has to be. Okay, here we go. This is the big one, communication and messaging. So a couple of points on, let's talk about messaging first. So here is a sample creative, and it's pretty cluttered. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is sell an apple. So looking at this creative, you're wondering, well, what am I supposed to be doing here? Am I supposed to be walking through an orchard? Am I supposed to be picking out the apples I want to purchase? Is there a specific apple I'm supposed to be using? How do I collect them? As a shopper, I'm really not sure on what to do here. So just making sure that your creative is very clear on what the shopper needs to do. Good on offers. Whether the coupon is good on the brand's entire product line or a specific subset of the product line could affect the response. Example, hey, we have a coupon on apples. But by the way, you need to buy this little one that's in a dotted circle. That's the one this coupon is good on. Your redemption is going to decline for all of the shoppers, who prefer these flavor apples. Again, not saying that this is a negative thing. If you really hone in, if you really need to give support on a very specific product, then you should definitely do that. But note that the expectation that redemptions will be lower. And then finally, clarity. Look at this nice, clear, clean apple. Clearly identify offer value, purchase requirement, and sometimes it's overlooked is directions to submit for redemption, meaning which clearinghouse the retailer should send it to, because that can cause confusion as well. So just making sure you're a crisp apple, you're clean and clear in your messaging on your offer. This is a very famous saying within our building at Avid, it is the theory of just because you build it doesn't mean they will come. The greater awareness, the greater the impact. And this is most true on digital apps where your offer can either get buried or the shopper doesn't even know it exists until you inform them that it exists. So you could set up the perfect offer, but if your shoppers don't know that offer exists, the offer probably isn't going to do well. So let's talk about the different ways that we can communicate the offers. Digital media, and this goes across multiple vehicles. So it could be that it is in the retailer's weekly digital flyer. It could be a banner ad within a load to card app. Many different ways to get that digital messaging in front of shoppers. Feature ads, clearly very broad in communication and for a specific retailer. And yes, I know, hard to get for a lot of people. But when I say feature ads in terms of communicating an offer, I'm not just speaking to a typical feature ad. You can actually put coupons into feature ads or a QR code leading them to a digital offer. And then finally, what I think is one of the most overlooked methods of communications are these coupon bloggers, these hip to save, these crazy coupon ladies, I Heart Publix. These are all kind of big names of bloggers, and I think people, if bloggers get a good deal, usually it's a stacked deal. But when you take a look at redemption trends, and there's just this massive spike on a particular week, I can tell you right then and there that the offer was either on feature or a coupon blogger blogged about it. They have tremendous influence. And something people probably don't know about coupon bloggers is you can pay them to communicate an offer. I've done quite a few programs with crazy coupon ladies where we paid to be, in their kind of daily email announcing the offer. Again, not for everyone, but a lot of people don't realize that these bloggers are also communication vehicles, and I just wanted to bring that up. Also, something to keep in mind in terms of the digital path to purchase is we have different stops on that path to purchase, and that communication should be used at each of those different stops. So both pre-shop, in-store. Again, if you're one of those categories who's trying to build brand engagement, post-store digital communication engagements are helpful as well. So those are our levers. Let's try to sum up all of this into one slide, shall we? So, in terms of best practices for strategic coupon execution, go into this with a very clear vision of what you're looking to accomplish. What are your KPIs? And this is something, Joel mentioned in the previous presentation. You really need to have a firm grasp on those moving into running an offer. Once you understand exactly what you're trying to do, identify the levers that can get you there. And then one of the things that we actually didn't touch on, but is a best practice as well, is at the end of the program, circle back, measure your pre-established KPIs, create that environment of continuous improvement. And, this is a space that we live in a great deal at Avid. And, being part of the analytical team, how important it is to be able to aggregate historical results of your offers to be able to inform future offers moving forward. So that is it. Any questions?
Sure, we have a couple of questions that have come in,
Mhm.
Regina. One, which coupon types are the most profitable?
That's a really good question. And I would say, first of all, is profit what you're looking to achieve? And if so, I would also say that running the coupon is just part of that equation. As Julie mentioned earlier in the presentation, sometimes coupons are not run for redemptions. They're run to gain incremental feature and or display. They're run to satiate, a buyer's requirement for load to cart offers. But with that said, I would say, digital, given that there's no printing involved of offers because printing has increasingly become expensive. So digital offers have a much quicker turnaround. Depending on the type of digital offer it is, it's generally less expensive to run one. And that will typically get you to a richer ROI.
Okay, another question. What are some of the best communication tools that you have used?
Excellent question. It clearly digital in the pre-shop because they're not in store. And given that FSIs are quickly fading away, digital is the best way to pull someone's attention, whether that be a brand putting out the offer on social media or, there are apps that will creepily know that you are shopping for a specific category. And so you'll get a little bling on your phone. In terms of in-store, we're talking about that instant need for, to get your money back right away. And so POS signage, most recently with QR codes, has been very effective as well. Julie, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say that with digital offers, when an ad buy was placed to help just increase the overall awareness of that, where we were able to actually determine the traffic source as well, where you can actually include a UTM tag within a URL that's driving to a custom tailored digital offer. And there's just greater efficiencies there in understanding where the activity is coming from, what does the drop off look like, the overall conversion, and it just helps tell that greater story. So I think when the media behind it is helping to promote, that's when we tend to see a really great overall effectiveness of the offer.
Okay, one more question. Are seniors using digital coupons often, or are they using FSIs more often?
Definitely digital. Now, they're still the lead users of FSIs, but they are very digitally savvy. And I, again, the economic downturns, COVID really drove people into that digital space. I think, a really good example, I have a friend who owns a restaurant, and during the pandemic, rather than handing out physical menus, they had a QR code on the table. Let me tell you, everyone knows how to use QR codes now.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's all the questions we had, and that was an excellent deep dive into coupons. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, for more information on this topic and to continue the conversation with Julie and Regina, you can reach out to Julie Fiorini at jfiorini at avidinc.com. Thank you both again.
Thank you.